This video we're working on ratios and proportions number 13, and that is proportional equations. Alright, so every proportional relationship can be written as an equation in the form y equals mx. Alright, so y is our dependent variable. M is our constant of proportionality. So constant of proportionality. And by looking at the other videos and the notes from class, you know that the constant of proportionality is also known as the unit rate. Sometimes it's also known as K, and that's found by doing y over x. Alright, and this is actually going to be essential when filling out these equations. X is our independent variable. Okay, so let's see what one of these questions look like. So number one, we have a table here, days and books read. For 1 day it's 4 books read, 2 days is 8 books read, 3 days is 12 books read. Right? And if we were thinking of like a story that this table is telling, it's basically, we could say something like, in 1 day Jimmy reads 4 books. In 2 days Jimmy reads 8 books. Something like that. And if you recall from the other videos, to find the constant of proportionality within a table, you just need to add a column, or row in this case, y over x. And if we get the same y over x, or unit rate rather, then that is our constant of proportionality, and the table would be proportional. So let's see if we get that. So our y over x for the first column is going to be 4 over 1, which is 4. 8 and 2, 8 over 2, which is 4. 12 over 3, which is 4. Alright, so that means our constant of proportionality is 4. And one thing that I didn't point out is that the top row is our x, the bottom row is our y. Alright, now go to the equation. Remember, the general form is y equals mx, where m is the constant of proportionality. So y is going to stay y. Constant of proportionality, we found that to be 4, and we can put our x right back in. Alright, so our equation is y equals 4x. I could even write this as, we don't always have to use x and y. I could have called days D for days. I could have called books read B for books read. And my equation would have been books read equals 4 times the number of days. Alright, so that would be a correct equation as well, as long as it fits the description of y equals mx. Right, so this is for every proportional relationship. Alright, for this, in our case, I'm going to stick with this equation right here. Like I said, this other one would still be the same, would still be perfectly okay, but I'm going to stick with y equals 4x. Alright, so to answer question C, use your equation to find the number of books read in 7 days and 10.5 days. Alright, well, let's take one at a time. So the first thing they're throwing at us is 7 days. Alright, now the 7 days represent our x or y. Well, when looking at the table, we have days to be our X row. So since they're asking for 7 days, this means that our X is going to equal 7 days. All right? And we want to know how many books read can we read in 7 days. Well, rewrite your equation. That was y equals 4x. And now we want to replace what we're given. So we're only given x equals 7 days. So it's going to be, we have nothing for y, so that's going to stay y. The 4 never changes because it's our constant of proportionality. And since we have an x here, and we know x equals 7 days, we're going to put our x right here. So it's going to be 4 times x, and we're going to put the 7 right in. 4 times 7. All right, continue your math. 4 times 7 is going to be 28. So y equals 28 books read. All right. So in other words, in 7 days, we read 28 books. Or Jimmy reads 28 books, however you want to look at it. All right, let's write a sentence. So in 7 days, "28 books are read." All right, done. Next part, 10.5 days. Well, once again, days is our x variable. So if they're telling us 10.5 days, this means that x equals 10.5 days. Rewrite your equation. Y equals 4x. This equation never changes. The y stays. We have nothing to replace y with. And we have to substitute our x in our equation with 10.5. So it's going to be 4 times 10.5. So we're going to get y equals 4 times 10.5, and this is 42 books read. Alright, so this means that in 10.5 days, 42 books are read. Alright, and that's it. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you for watching.